Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I know the IG of Police has apologized today for the initial statement, but that initial statement, Mr. Speaker, is tantamount to a cover-up. And we are curious to know on whose behalf was he doing that cover-up. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, when it is a VIP who is subject to investigations, it takes a very short time to have people charged in court. How many police officers were on duty in Central Police that night? Mr. Speaker, I have been held in Central Police cell myself. And so I know at night there's not so many police on duty. How come we don't have all of them taking plea? Where haven't they been charged to date? Because you cannot tell, such a crime cannot be committed in the ignorance of anyone in that cell. Everyone is what do you call it? Everyone is involved one way or another. Another thing, this complacency by the police is giving this government a very bad name. We have a tag on this government as a blood-based government. How many people have been charged with the death of the multiple Gen Zs who have died under this administration? It is not the work of the government to charge. It is the work of the police. Are you also involved in sabotaging our government? We want to know. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Asige, I'll give you your minute that you lost when you're doing your asking question.
Thank you, Speaker, for acknowledging that I had lost a minute. The clerk's table, for some reason, has given every other senator 3 minutes, as you had instructed, but myself, when I stood, I only got 2 minutes, and that is on record. And I'm thankful for the extra minute. Speaker, what I was trying to say as I was concluding is that the IG spoke about a primary report having been the reason why he said the cause of death was suicide by Albert Ojwang. And I wanted to understand who was the person who gave him that primary report, because that might at least shed some light on whether that person, that officer who gave him the false report, is involved in the cover-up and obstructing of justice. And secondly, I wanted to know if this particular investigation is hinged upon one tweet, one post by the complainant. Where is this post? Because none of us have seen it. Can the DCI table that post so that we can analyze its veracity and its authenticity and make sure that it's not AI generated or tampered with in any other way? Thank you.
Now, honorable senators, I will now allow the witnesses led by the CS to respond to the many questions that you've raised. However, before I allow the CS to take to the stand, Senator Karungo Wathangwa, while asking a question, indicated that the IG had said that the young man was interrogated at Vigilant House. I have asked the clerk at the table to confirm from the Hansard whether that is true, and he has indicated to me that that is not true. You may now proceed, CS.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me start by thanking my colleagues, the senators, for really raising very weighty issues that I have, as I already said, some we have been able to note, some we will get it from the Hansard, and those which are concerning policy issues, Mr. Speaker, will do the proper follow-up. I also would like to say on the floor of this House that considering the number of cases that IPOA is being requested to investigate, Mr. Speaker, from a policy perspective, it's important as a country that we give IPOA more support in terms of resources and ability to hire more investigators so that these cases are heard and resolved expeditiously, because people are asking this question, Mr. Speaker, how come the one for Honorable Were was handled within a week or so on a shorter time, and how come this one is not moving at the same speed? Mr. Speaker, it must be understood that this is IPOA investigating police. On the other incident, it was the police themselves investigating a crime. And therefore, the capacity, whereas there are not enough resources on the DCI side, we believe that DCI has a greater capacity than the IPOA itself. Therefore, IPOA requires some level of support so that this can move expeditiously. The question Kenyans are asking is that, are we treating this case different from those that are affecting persons who are prominent, like a member of parliament and so? And I was saying, Mr. Speaker, it must be seen from the context that for the questions of investigation in Barakoi, for example, Angata Barakoi, Mr. Speaker, for example, and the case of this one for Albert, all of them are by IPOA, which has a smaller establishment than the DCI, and therefore the process gets slower. If it was the efficiency and the capacity that the DCI has, it would have moved a little bit faster. Mr. Speaker, very few questions have been raised, but in depth, Senator Muma has asked policy review. I already gave my undertaking already in the House earlier that when I came to office, I have instructed the team in my office to look not just at the law, but also the judicial decisions, including Justice Ogola's decision, Mr. Speaker, to see how we can mainstream them and improve the service standing orders or work on different regulations or establish a new legislation that can be able to fill the gaps. This is not an exercise that is confined only to the ministry, but also we can work together with the relevant committee of this House. Mr. Speaker, on the Commission of Inquiry and Inquest, I think those are very genuine legal, constitutional parameters that can be used, or instruments, actually, that can be used to get to the truth. Where there is doubt that the truth can be found, these mechanisms can be utilized. However, Mr. Speaker, in the situation that we are, I think it's too early, considering that it was only 2 days ago, to pass judgment that IPOA is unable to do these investigations. But should the investigations not bear any fruit, Mr. Speaker, those are instruments that can be considered by this House as ways of investigation. Mr. Speaker, on the curriculum, we have the curriculum. We have the curriculum, and as Senator Muma, having myself trained before on rights-based approach to development, I know what you mean by saying, talking about human rights approach to service delivery. The instruments are there, but the ability to disseminate it to catch up with the older population that are already been trained, and also the ability for the National Police Service to have continuous training is constrained by resources and facilities. In fact, we might have this discussion another time. You know that all over the country, wherever you go, and for those who have been with me in the Jukwaa la Usalama, you realize that the National Police Service has many issues that needs to be dealt with. A police station, even for a police station to have a CCTV, is just by luck, because some of them don't have OB, some of them don't have furniture, they don't even have a computer. We have shortage of vehicles. We have all many other challenges that this administration realized. That is why there was a police reform committee that was put in place to see how best are we going to enhance. And that's why we're doing procurement now for vehicles. We're trying to do digitalization and digitization so that if you had the DCI properly, it told you that part of the occurrence book is reported digitally. And that's evidence that cannot easily be erased, not like a book or a paper within the police station. So there's a lot of work that we want to do on digitization and digitalization of the police service. But the challenge we still have is to work on the resource constraint that we have. So police officers are asking for basics: a police station with a cell, a police station with a vehicle. At the moment, OCS is sharing a vehicle with OCPD and so forth. And all this we are working on as a ministry, and this is an area that I put a greater emphasis to see that the police officers are resourced to do their work. Again, on the issue of Senator Beatrice Ogola, I am very clear, Senator Beatrice, I am very clear in my mind. I saw the father of the late Albert Ojwang And like any other parent, I felt the pain of that parent. And they only give possible gift we can give them in the time that they have lost their loved one. And it's even more painful when it's the only child. Mr. Speaker, is to promise them that we will do everything we can and to ensure that justice is done and to ensure that those who perpetrated this heinous act are put behind bars, Mr. Speaker, so that they can suffer the pain of having inflicted this grievous bodily harm, which eventually resulted in death of Albert Ojwang. Mr. Speaker, that is the little we can give. Of course, Mr. Speaker, as I said earlier, we are obligated as leaders and also citizens and also within this leadership of this ministry to support them.